I watch movies, right, that are 2 hours long and they can't do that same thing.
Yeah, I've seen shows.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I've also seen shows.
At least few parts of the story it felt like Chinese parents all over again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like coming of age story.
Yes.
There's a girl, there's a neighbor,
Yeah.
kind of have a crush on them.
This is your Hallmark movie.
That is not a sound I thought would be associated with that.
Hallmark movie. This is the first Spider-Man. Welcome to the Game Playlist Podcast. My name is Akshan, and you know what? I spy with my little eye something that stacks. Seshan, you want to wager a guess?
Something that stacks. Jenga? Oh,
Nope. Next to him, Anuk?
Blocks.
No. I'll give you another one because Jenga kind of blocks.
I was going to say, yeah.
Chairs.
No. And next to him is Dilantha. What is your guess?
I'm going to guess because I know you, it's probably going to be DVDs or Blu-rays.
Oh my god. No.
Okay.
Neither of them guessed cards.
Oh.
So that's the Gameplay of this podcast. That's our game for today. Thank you very much for watching.
Wow. Just a short episode.
If you've never seen the podcast before, we pick a game, we play that game, and then we talk about that game every month. Today's game, who picked it? Seshan?
Yes.
Sean?
Hey,
Go ahead.
thank you for the introduction. Yes, so today's game is Before Your Eyes.
Ew.
I do not know where I saw this game, but it has a very unique mechanic. It uses your webcam for gameplay, although you do not require it, but that's the main sell of this game. I'm just gonna leave it at that, and we can get into it later. Other than
Yeah.
It's a short game. Yeah, it's
Short
the more you go
narrative
into
game.
it, the less we'll have to say.
Yeah. Short narrative game where the main mechanic is you use your eyes, which it records from your webcam to play the game, and you're blinking specifically. Yeah. So, after having played this game, I knew nothing about it. Well, I knew only the gimmick, and that's all I knew about it. What are the feelings that we have here?
it was unexpectedly good.
I can concur.
I thought the only thing this game had to offer was its gimmick. But it took that gimmick and added a lot of value to it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was a very slow burn.
Slow burn. Okay.
Slow burn. That's an interesting point of view that I did not expect.
Okay, but I mean slow burn.
Wait. But before you get that, let me also speak on it, Anu. I feel like this probably gives away my recommendation towards the end, but I feel like I should say it now. I think as of all the games we've played so far on the podcast, this is probably the best one for me personally. I'm sure the other guys have different. Different opinions on it. But for me, I think this was easily the best game played in the entire podcast. So yeah. That's what I'm going to say for that.
Lovely.
Anuk,
Lovely. I can concur with the sentiment. I can definitely.
I wanna hear more about Anuk's slow burn.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear the slow burn because the
next game that he's picked for us is Ultra Kill. What do you think his natural pace is?
Fair enough. fair enough, but I just
But no,
think
I do
like
want to hear. I do want to hear it.
it's not a very long game. That's why I'm
It's also not
curious.
very. It's not a very slow paced game either. So I am interested. Unless you played it on like times 0.5 speed somehow.
You know, Anuki likes to prolong thing.
Head trick
Yes.
before your eyes.
No, what I mean slow burn is because the emotions that were invoked in me were it took a while to get there to the end when the plot twist and stuff.
Mm.
That is what I mean by slow burn. It doesn't like invoke those
Are you
sense.
saying that like
It-
towards the end is only where you felt something?
kind of like it the beginning bit was too okay. We're getting into it too much, but it was too
Okay,
long.
so it affected you by the end, and you feel like the lead up
Yeah.
to it wasn't as much. All right, we can get into that later on. Good to point it out, though.
Mm.
All right, so let's talk about the game in a level of depth, like a dredge. I don't know. So
Stay tuned.
the core mechanic of this game, which on first, well, not first playthrough, on hearing about it, I thought thinking it would be just a gimmick, is the blinking mechanic, which you don't have to use, but it is the intended way to play the game. And in regards to the effect in the storytelling, in the story, it is very effective when you play with the mechanic itself. It when you start up the game, you first have to decide what webcam it's going to use, and then if you have multiple, like OBS virtual
Who
cam or
was?
something.
Okay.
And then you go through the calibration, especially when you start it up. And for me, once I calibrated the first time, it was not bad. It didn't. I never felt like it thought I blinked when I didn't blink, or when I did blink and it just didn't recognize it. It felt, and I didn't feel like I had to push myself to blink, like in order for it to notice it.
Okay, so before that, like I also want to put my thing here. Now, this was my only problem with the game because for me, I calibrated a few times and it kept on adding extra blinks. So then I thought I did a last calibration to stop that. And then it worked. And then I started playing the game, but it kept on blinking even when I didn't want it to blink. So that kind of frustrated me initially. And that's kind of was like, if this is going to keep happening, then, I really do. To be fair, it didn't create, like, it wasn't problems per se, obviously. We all know how the game works in terms of the blink. It's not like, as much as it sounds like, oh, every blink, makes the story rush through. It's not really the case. Like, the blinkings are at very specific moments. But for me, that mechanic just didn't work properly at all. And I think it was probably because just my opinion on it. I think it was because at the time I was playing this in the night and I was already like kind of drowsy-ish. So I couldn't have my eyes fully open. As in terms of like to get that to work. So that's probably the reason. But I decided to play the whole thing after the initial bit, of course. I decided to play the rest of it with my mouse because I wanted to actually play the game as opposed to getting annoyed with the eye mechanic. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it is an amazing mechanic, and I'm sure the other guys, I'm sure the rest of you all have, actually used the eye thing. But for me, that one, it was an initial stumbling block. Maybe if I went back to it, maybe I could experience it properly. But yeah, that was the only, I guess, down point for me. So yeah. Feel like it needs to be said. Yeah.
Understood. Get 8 hours of sleep.
Sorry for COVID.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problems. I like that. I like the fact that it asks you whether you're wearing glasses or not, and that it takes that into account when you do the calibration. I played it both in the morning and at night and didn't really have any problems. I feel like it did register maybe once or twice an extra blink but I felt like that was just my eyes being weird, like yours.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I'm sure there are variables like again cameras, this that. So there are different things. I was reading because I was trying to find a solution for. I think when it initially came out, there were people saying that you can't use your laptop webcam. If you were using a laptop webcam to play, it didn't really work. I think that they patched that since. So I think the concept is very cool, and I mean, again, it will be something like there's that they use it in some games now, right? Like a blinking type of in some shooting games and stuff like that. They do use it, so an interesting idea to engage more with games. But yeah, it's for me. I mean, when it works, right? That's the important thing.
Did you not want to try it on your Meta Quest?
Yeah, I mean, I was considering it, but the setup for it was, I'll be honest, I didn't think about it too much. So, and I was supposed to lend it to Akshan, but kind of missed out on doing that. Um, so I didn't try it on that, but maybe one day I'll revisit it. I kind of want to play it again properly with better eyes, like to see
Better eyes.
with better eyes. Yeah. See. Also, you can play it in VR. I don't think that was mentioned earlier. It's also a VR game.
But you can play this in VR, really?
Yeah.
You can play it in VR, yeah.
I feel like it feels like it's meant to be VR because especially since there's no movement, right? It's technically just looking around.
Yeah,
You're right.
I think it is probably quite a good VR experience. Actually, no, what am I saying? Not probably. It is probably good. I said probably again.
Because
It is a good VR experience.
Because like
I'm sure.
even though I use my mouse, right? Like every prompt to like do an action is you blinking. So, and that's the only reason you use the mouse because you don't have the VR headset. So I feel like
I
that's
wonder.
the way to experience
I
it.
mean, a slight sidebar, but maybe also related. I want to end up because using a VR headset sometimes it's not exactly the most pleasant experience, right? I wonder if you blink a lot while you're wearing the VR and you don't think about it too much because not all experiences need that. But in this one where it's like essential, they fix the gameplay.
Yeah, because the screen is essentially right in front of your eyes, and like it's like bright in your
Yeah.
eyes, and you want to blink a
So
lot.
sometimes, yeah, you end up blinking a lot because of that. But
F's
again, I'm sure it's very immersive in the VR experience.
F's in the chat for those with low humidity, like Egypt.
Yeah.
You'd be blinking a lot, I imagine. Get a humidifier when you play this game. All in Sri Lanka. So, Anuk, did you have any issues?
I kept blinking and it kept going through the stages fast.
Oh no! I was playing the game.
There wasn't an issue with the mechanic. It was just,
No, I mean, I know it's not
you
an
just
issue
blinked
with
a
like,
lot.
Yeah.
it's not really yeah, that's one thing. But I mean, like it registered even if it's not like a proper blink, even if your
Like a
eyes
half
was
blink, yeah, I know.
So I think did you end up playing the full thing with your eyes or
yeah, I played
did
the
you
whole
move
thing
to
with
the
my eyes.
mouse?
No, I
Okay.
played the whole thing.
I just I just because I wanted to experience the game properly. I felt like the blinking thing was kind of graining on me, so I had to move. But yeah, I think you also probably went through the same thing I did,
Yeah.
maybe something similar.
But like
sorry.
Okay. No, I was gonna say that I feel like the technology and like what they've used is pretty good. I feel like the calibration's very good. I think it's just us. Honestly.
Yeah, no. I don't think it's I don't think it's necessarily a problem with the software. I just think it's
Is it just us?
more.
For some reason, I was fine.
No, as in like
Well, us as in me and Anuk.
no, it happened to me a few times as well. Like you try to keep your eyes open, right? And you think
Yeah.
you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm keeping my eyes open, but like in a moment of weakness, like you just like do like a micro blink and you do like a micro blink and it counts.
So it's yeah.
Yeah, I tried cheating it at some points, and I tried to
I
blink
think,
one eye.
but again, I mean, it's good that we're talking about this because it is core mechanic, right? I wonder if that's also maybe sometimes intentional because the whole
No,
premise
it's definitely intentional.
yeah, the whole premise is that your life is flashing before your eyes, right? So
Yeah.
maybe
Premise of the game, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you look at it from that, like what the philosophical
Yeah, because there were
perspective
points
of it.
where I wanted to watch. I was like invested in it, and I forgot about the blinking. Like because you're listening, you're not.
Yeah.
If you focus on opening your eyes, just focus on opening your eyes. You're not watching the game, and so you started to lean into watching the game, and then you just blink naturally, and suddenly you're in the next scene, and you're like, oh, I tell what
Yeah,
I hear what they were saying.
maybe it is more
It
more
was
to do with that, yeah.
it was very effective in those situations. It was also very effective when at points in the game you were asked to close your eyes completely, and you could only listen when you closed your eyes, and you could hear what people were saying.
Yeah.
Mm.
It created the feeling of like listening in, and it was and like that claustrophobic, like sort of listening against the door.
Yeah.
It was very effective.
There was also that moment where like they ask you to close your eyes and like your parents walk by the room and they're like talking in front of the door and they even like look into the room and they're like, oh, he's asleep. And you're like, haha, no, I'm not. It like it feels very much like you're playing that character also for some reason. I don't know
It
why
feels like
that
you
is.
are the person. Doesn't feel like a separate entity of sort.
Yeah. Because a lot of I mean, in many ways a game, especially ones where you're playing like a human being, are trying to trying to make you feel like you are making the decisions that your character would make.
Yeah.
Like movement, I want to go there, so you walk over there and
Yeah,
you push a stick forward. This you want to close your eyes, so you just close your eyes. And it just brings you even more closer to the character just with that. Because one thing about this story is your protagonist. I think we talked about the eye mechanic. We can go into like how the actually one thing I want to say about the eye mechanic is that I had to borrow Delanta's webcam just because I didn't have one.
Actually, did you end up using it?
Well, I tried using it, and problem is it had a flat surface and it didn't really like fit onto the monitor without falling off, so I had to improvise.
Oh right, yeah. Forgot about that. Okay.
Oh.
As you can see in this picture.
Oh. Okay. I thought you used your dad's webcam.
Yes, it didn't work, so then I had to go get my father's webcam.
Yeah, because of the context for people who can't see, I tried to find a separate a webcam for Akshan, but I couldn't. So the only thing I could give him was my PlayStation 3 PlayStation Eye. And I'm pretty sure you can. I think in theory, at least I don't know anymore. You could have used it as a webcam, but it required too much. It required too much tinkering, and
no, I went through all of the tinkering, and then at the last stage, there was an update that has not been updated for 3 years, so it didn't work.
There you go. Yeah, so
for OBS.
For those who want to try and use a PlayStation 3i as a webcam, your mileage may vary.
Yeah, that GitHub GitHub repository has not been updated for 2025.
Amazing.
But it worked for me in the end. Yeah.
You should have gotten the Nintendo one.
Yes, before your eyes. Now $90.
Now in 480p.
480p.
480p and $480. Oh god. And when you have to look around, you have to use your mouse. It's not tracking your eyes like looking where you're looking.
Did
you use your mouse to center it?
Other than Delanta, did you all play on the mouse?
What do you mean play on the mouse?
If you use the mouse to be on.
Yeah, because I did it. I was gonna say I did it.
When I gave up
through, and then I used the mouse for like the achievement stuff.
Okay. I didn't use that. Well, I started the game using the mouse, and then I was like, no, I have to try and get a webcam. This is too
You must
too
do it with the
important.
webcam. There's no
This
choice.
feels a bit wrong to try and do it like this. Um, yeah,
But
I
does it
didn't really.
take away the experience if you don't use a webcam?
It does.
I mean, it does, but I don't
does.
think, personally speaking, I think the general essence. I mean, probably gonna disagree with this, but like, I feel like the general story, nothing is really lost when you do that. You
I
still-
think there is something lost. However, in regards to accessibility, you still get the the scope of it, the story, and you even
I still think you get I think you get a decent chunk of it. Maybe not immersive, but
Yeah.
to say it's
Yeah.
to say it's an impediment is a bit much, I would say.
It's all what happens is you just lose out on a few moments which are very like memorable, where you use your eyes and it really makes you go like, oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah, because I guess like when you start jumping back in time, like the first thing the narrator says as well is, even though you want to stay, you're not going to be able to. And so I think the blinking mechanic and everything really adds to that, right? Because
Yeah.
when you're playing it for the first time, you know nothing about it. You don't know how much further the
That's
story
true,
goes.
I guess.
Because there were moments where like I wanted to hear the story, like it's your parents talking, they're like talking about their childhood and stuff like that. And then the pendulum thing shows up and you like blink and then you're just like, no, I wanted to hear everything. Like,
Okay, that fair enough. Yeah, I
Those
guess
are
you
the
maybe
times I wanted to
misunderstood. But
Yeah.
I accidentally blinked for some stuff that I wanted to listen to.
yeah, that
Exactly.
happens so much. And like it adds to that experience because you're like, you want to hear it. And like if it was actually your own life, also like you would kind of feel that way, right? Like you want to stay
It
in that
blinks,
moment, but
It blinks in the.
But you can't. You won't get to. Yeah. Man,
yeah.
very effective. So let's this game is very, very pretty. It is
it's simple but pretty.
absurdly pretty.
Simple, pretty design.
It is absurdly pretty. Screw you.
No, as in
I still said it's pretty.
no. It's simple in the sense that it's not high texture. It's not.
It's
Yeah.
not high fidelity.
Yeah.
It's not high fidelity.
Yeah.
It's not high fidelity.
Yeah. It's not high fidelity. It's not RTX on.
There's no ray tracing,
But-
Anuk.
Well. Hang on, Akshan. We need to hear perspective. Anuk, was there ray tracing in this game?
In this game, there was no ray tracing.
Oh my god, crazy.
I rated this as 0 because there's no ray tracing.
All right, now that segment's over with.
It's my segment.
I just
the
want to
ray
say
tracing segment.
again for podcast listeners, we have Seshan for the achievement segment. You kind of have me who sometimes does console stuff, and now you have Anuk who's going to be giving you the RTX experience.
Yes.
Too bad we mostly play indie games.
Yes.
Hey, man.
Now we turned RTX on for the last one.
He didn't even play the full game. He just turned it on.
No, that's not important, Seshan. He turned it on, right? He turned it
Not
on.
the whole game.
Same
What
with
do you
that.
mean?
Oh, you did play it?
I did.
You played the full
Yeah.
game with it. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RTX was on, Seshan. RTX was on.
All right.
Anyway,
Anyways, moving on. Yes, Akshan, it's a pretty game.
it's a pretty game, Akshan.
It's a very pretty game. The style of it, the how just consistent and how it builds as the story goes on. Because the story is that you are growing up, without going too much into the details of it. And as you grow up, the colors just go from this very vibrant colorscape to a lot more
Muted.
mellow and mature. Let's call muted.
A good example is McDonald's in the early 2000s and McDonald's right now.
That's a good.
How long were you waiting to use that one? I wonder. How long?
It's been in the chamber for so long.
His eyes were bulging, and he was keeping his eyes open.
Sashan saw it in the game and he's like, wait a minute, I need to get this down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. But I would say, Sashan, to be honest, as much as I joke about it, that is pretty accurate. It's a pretty accurate analogy.
It is a very accurate analogy. But one part of what makes that so effective is that the story is looking back on one's life and love, and for the most part, with your memories, you look back with rose-tinted glasses. So those positive memories tend to be a little bit more positive than they are, and the simplicity of the art style and the facial expressions of characters are like mostly just lines and like simple line art, akin to Animal Crossing, like the faces, like the way they're animated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that? And
maybe more simple than that, but yes.
Yes. It simplifies all of it down to its most core elements. Like, it's not the most detailed smile that's shown to you. It's the memory of a smile in its most simplest form, which makes sense when you're looking back on a memory. You fill it in with the details you want and leave out the details you don't.
Yeah.
And it's another thing that makes it absurdly pretty for me is the music that adds to combining with the visuals.
I heard it for the first time on the boat, and it was the first time I felt like the music caught my attention.
Yeah. I cannot remember a single piece of the music, like a melody, but I do remember the feeling that it conjured, the orchestral swells at moments, the quietness of the pitter patter of the piano, and how it contrasts to when you are playing the piano and learning it, and you have this boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
it's a lot more heavier.
Yeah.
Before your character gets better, and it's like
this game has a very good atmosphere.
Absurdly good atmosphere. When I say this game is absurdly pretty, it's like the atmosphere is absurdly pretty. You can nitpick little details, but when I'm playing the game as a whole, the feeling I get is it's absurdly pretty. I guess the best way
to explain it is that there are lots of components that make an immersive experience. You don't realize how much the sounds and the visuals do that in this case, how simple but how effective it can be, and this game has done it well.
And it's invisible in the sense that while you're playing, you're not thinking about, oh, that sounds good. You're just feeling the emotion of, oh, that moment was great.
Yeah.
It is props to every single sound designer, visual art, the graphic designer, artist, layout artists, and voice actors. They did a great job.
They did
all the way through. Your character, the one you play, does not ever speak. He's pretty much mute.
I don't think he ever speaks at all.
Yeah, he does.
No, he's pretty much mute. It's interesting. And we'll get into that in the story. Yeah. So, from this point, I'm going to talk about the storytelling. So, if anything we said is interested in you playing this game, getting this game, I recommend just going and playing it, because while we're not going into too many story details now, we're going to go into a little bit, and then we'll go into the major story spoilers. So there's your warning. I can't swear. Get lost.
Before we enter the storytelling bit, there is one thing that I thought about while playing this game, and it's a conversation that I've had with a few other people. I personally do not remember anything from my childhood at such a young age. That young.
How young are you talking about?
4 and below.
That's normal.
I would say that's normal.
Yes, and
That's normal.
and then you have people
Over
like,
time, if you live a fulfilling life,
and then you have people like my
a
wife.
little bit deeper, but if you live a fulfilling life with the wife,
No, I
you
will-
know, you end up creating new memories, right? Which takes
Mhm.
place of the old ones.
No,
So until you see them again, you don't
Yeah.
think about them too much.
I was gonna say that some people I know, like my wife, who remembers that she was in a
The
pram.
birth canal.
I mean, Sasha, no offense, I could say something here, but I feel it will not be a very nice thing to say.
Uh-huh.
That is impressive, though, that she remembers the prime.
Yes.
Being in a prime.
That is impressive. Yeah.
My mother harangues me, telling me that she took me to a Barney show, and I cannot remember a thing about it because she spent so much money and had to travel so far.
I do think again, if we talk about real life here, I do think when we look back at pictures and stuff, maybe sometimes it conjures up a memory again. Maybe
Maybe.
Yes, but
is kind of like I mean even in this one, right? It's being shown to you, so then you recollect. So if you it's like watching a home movie, for example, right? If you watch a home movie, maybe it conjures up some old memories, but you know.
perhaps.
This is probably off topic, kinda. But whenever I hate saying old pictures of anything from my past because it ruins the memory of it every single time I see it or watch it. Like especially if I remember it. If I have a memory, I watch it. It just ruins it. So I hate seeing old stuff.
Fair enough.
Because the memory, for the most part, the memory is just more colorful and more. It strips away a lot of the rough edges, which in this game, as you're playing,
You mean it?
kind of what it does.
You mean it peels off the rose tint?
The real footage? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
fair enough.
All right. So, yeah, let's go into the storytelling here. I got a lettuce in my tooth.
Guten Tag.
The storytelling. It's framed, and it's quite apparent from the beginning that this story is framed as your characters entered some sort of limbo, and this ferryman, who is nameless throughout the story, but we'll call him the ferryman because that's his title in the credits.
It is, yeah.
I think it's in the credits, right? Yeah. I
It's
was
in
just
the
gonna say
credits,
it's in the achievements.
And it's a good name for it because he is ferrying you to yada yada.
Very much.
And he tells you, I need you to remember your life and tell it to me, and so that we can make a case to this large deity that will either accept you into their kingdom of yada yada.
The
whatever it may be.
gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper, yes. It's an analogy for, like a very direct analogy for some sort of afterlife, and you are in a limbo state, and as well as which makes sense when you look around and you are in a sea of blackness with this large looming tower that goes up into the sky, and he tells you,
And there are other souls in this ocean.
yes, that did not impress, and he's looking for the right one.
Yeah.
And then he tells you, okay, now go back, close your eyes and go back, and then that's the first time you close your eyes in a mechanical way, and the game affects it, and you go back to the first memory that your character has, which starts off.
Before we get to that, can I just ask how many times did you all play the game?
2 times.
Uno.
Two times?
Two. Roughly.
Akshan, one time?
One time.
Okay.
I want to play it again, but time.
Okay. No, because I realized this quite late, like fairly recently to the recording, that there are multiple outcomes, which I did not know.
It's not that deep.
Not that much different?
No.
No.
We'll tell you what it is.
Okay. All right. So I'm guessing you all have experienced both.
Yeah.
Anuk, you also experienced both?
Yeah, because I had to do for the achievements part.
All right. Moving on. Continue.
And then you go into the reliving your life. It starts off on a beach with your mother, and it's there where you learn that you can leave the memory in the middle of a moment happening. There's a point, like the thing I remember was she was looking for like a piece of paper for like something, and I was just keeping my eyes open. I was like, okay, are you gonna find it at some point?
Wasn't the seagull holding it?
In when you revisit it, yes.
No, he was holding it in the beginning.
Maybe you played it again, so maybe yeah. But initially, that area where the seagull is blocked out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember this because I was like, why can't I see it that way? And then later on, I was like, sorry.
There is a reason.
So the game is framed in this way, and so even the memories, one thing is you can't turn fully backwards. Like the game, for the most part, keeps you in this 180 to 90 degree angle in front of you.
I mean, you are a human.
Yeah, but like you as a human can't look behind
turn your
you.
body, but they won't let you turn your body.
They won't let you turn your body because more than likely it's because in your memory you don't remember looking behind you. So there's there's nothing behind you, and a lot of the game is framed with these like black outlines around, almost like everything around everything beyond the blackness is stuff that you just don't remember and you don't have a frame of reference for, and so you remember these very specific splotches of instances of memories, and that was cool. And initially, I thought the whole game was going to be just you are seeing this person's life from birth till death, and that was interesting. There is a bit more to that, which we'll get into later. But as you were going through the story, were there any highlights in the storytelling besides the ending, besides the reveal and ending that you remember?
In the way the story was told.
In the way that the story was told.
As much as I was making fun of Anuk for it,
wow,
I do think that I also only really felt the story more towards the end as we were getting there. So again, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still don't, I wouldn't use the term slow burn, but I kind of understand where he's coming from to an extent.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think either of you are saying it as a bad thing either, though.
I'm definitely not saying it's a bad thing. I don't know what Anuk, he can be realized or something.
It's just the quality of the way the story is, because even I agree that the first segment of the game and the story, it felt like it's what I expected as well. It's what I thought this game was going to be. It's in the second half where it took something, it revealed some things, and it really it made the story deeper than I had any anticipation of it being.
For me, the storytelling, I don't know if this is really a part of the storytelling, but it felt relatable in some instances. I don't know. I feel like the way the entire story was written really had a lot of thought put into it. I noticed it from the small ages, right? Like the whole how do you explain this? I realized this in the bathtub scene, where you push the boat into the water, and then you're just you're obsessed with it, right? As a kid, that's all you're thinking about. You think about the boat, then it swaps to the next memory where you're outside, and then you're seeing the boat in the clouds. Then the next memory is you're trying to paint the boat itself.
And I love how you paint the boat, but then it cuts immediately to what is actually in front of you, and it's just the splodgings of blue and white and yellow.
It's those little subtle things where it's you feel that like you relate to it a lot. At least I did.
Yeah, yeah. It's very strong, very strong grasp of storytelling.
It's a very subtle but strong.
Yes, yes. Like the writing never felt weak. The writing never felt like it was like unsure about itself. It was very strong from the beginning and up until the end. It knew exactly what the story was telling and how it was telling it, and it committed to itself, and it paid off brilliantly by the end.
Mm-hmm.
It just follows that, like, I don't want to say typical childhood, but like it's what you would expect.
Yeah, like coming of age story.
Yes.
There's a girl, there's a neighbor,
Yeah.
kind of have a crush on them. Oh.
This is your Hallmark movie.
That's not
Yeah.
that's not that is not a sound I thought would be associated with it.
Hallmark movie. This is the first Spider-Man.
Anyway.
Oh no, you're spoiling how the ending happens.
Of the first Spider-Man?
No, of the ending of this game, where the part you get bitten by a radioactive spider and you.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where the plot twist comes.
And
Absolutely.
then you lay eggs in everyone's eyes, and then that's why it's called Before Your.
Don't give away the secrets after.
Sorry. Yeah, I messed up, guys. I'm sorry. Before we start lying even more about the game.
I kind of said this already, but the blinking mechanic added a lot to the storytelling. The as we said, like the feeling of the memories getting away from you because you accidentally blink or you are forced to blink. The desire to hold on to the memories by just keeping your eyes open despite you not wanting to.
This is another part of the storytelling that I remember. Did it feel to you guys that the parent characters in this game, that they actually did feel like your own parents in a sense?
I wouldn't say feel like
No, as in the sense where like you
can relate to it.
you can relate to it, but it's also like they drop these like tidbits of like their own backstory and their own history where like it makes it up in your own head.
You know, one of the thoughts that I had when I was playing that one, at least few parts of the story, was it felt like Chinese parents all over again.
Oh wow.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
because the mom is harsh on you to learn piano and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what you meant? Yeah. Okay, I get it.
I see. I did not get that at all. Mainly because, to be fair, my Chinese parents were quite relaxed, so I guess I didn't.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
People like us playing Chinese parents, but in
Ladies and
extreme
gentlemen,
English.
on this podcast, we have Seshan, who's journeyman, who keeps on pulling everything back to Journey. Now we have Anuk, who's Chinese parents, man, who'll take everything back to Chinese parents.
Speaking of pulling things back, I forgot to mention this when we were talking about the music. The music felt like I was listening to Outer Wilds for some reason.
Oh my god!
I can understand that. I can understand
It
that.
was-
Outer Wilds is very good music.
It was the instrument. I don't know what that instrument was, but it
The
was there.
Banjo?
I think it was the banjo. There was a banjo in
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, I remember the band. For some, I don't know why I'm remembering a banjo in Before Your Eyes.
That's Outer Wilds.
Yeah, great. Outer Wilds. Play it or not? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very what's the word? Chinese parentsy, Outer Wildsy game.
Yeah.
Did the game remind you of Bear and Breakfast?
I wanted to say without trying to be funny, I wanted to say it reminded me of Journey quite a bit as well.
You know, I saw like few articles saying it's like close to Journey. It was inspired by Journey and stuff like that.
That
Another game called
definitely
Insane.
makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
Really? Okay.
It's about the journey.
It's about the journey.
Everything leads back to journey, apparently.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
and
about-
I guess.
Supposedly, it was
Honestly,
inspired by
honestly.
games like I'm reading that same article. It's inspired by games like Journey and Inside.
What about Yakuza?
Mm,
Yeah.
Yakuza. Everything's inspired by Yakuza.
What I was gonna say about the storytelling thing and like about the parents part is that like considering that it's an hour, right? The full gameplay is an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if you really stretch it. In such short amount of time, you get to know 3 characters, which
Very well. Yes.
very well, which is I think like really cool, right? You
Very
get to
good
know
writing.
you get to know both the parents and the neighbor girl as well. Like I don't know how they did that.
Again,
Ferryman, right?
very good writing. Very strong. Communicates a lot in very little.
Who's the fourth person? I don't know.
Ferryman.
I'll agree with Anuk.
Yeah, the ferryman too. I
Ferryman too.
feel like you learn less about him. You know what he does, and you know
understand
why
his
he does it.
character.
You understand his
So you
character,
understand-
yes. But like
Yeah.
with the other 3, you learn like
Their whole lives.
yes, like it feels weird. Like you feel like
But isn't that the point? You're living with your parents and you're living with someone who you
No,
don't
no,
know.
yeah, no, that's the point. But it's effective how well they got that
yeah,
point
yeah,
across.
I mean,
the
ho-
effectiveness of that.
yeah, how effective can it be to like I've watched movies, right, that are 2 hours long and they can't do that same thing. They can't make you feel like you know the person.
Yeah. I've seen shows.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I've also seen shows. Like crazy.
It's very strong character development. To be fair, in the storytelling framework, it helps that there's no literal room for filler scenes because it's the core memories of this person. So there's never any time when there's room for any filler.
No,
Nothing's
only-
unnecessary. Nothing's
Yeah,
unnecessary.
you only see the core stuff, and you
Yeah.
see what defines them in their what
Mm.
defines his mother in his eyes, what defines his father in his eyes,
Yeah.
what defines that girl that he likes in his eyes.
really missed that sports meet arc, am I right, Tilant? and the school festival arc.
Where were the fireworks? Where were the fireworks?
Anime reference.
I'm not an anime, sadly.
Anyway,
No anime, not anyway. So the story. I think we've harangued about the story telling for long enough. From this point, I'll bugger off and play the game. Hopefully, you're here because you have played the game. We're going to talk about the story. Spoiler on.
Spoiler number 2.
spoiler number 2.
True spoiler. We've unlocked the true spoiler ending. So in the middle of the game, like as you go through life, and my experience was it was going through his life from like 1 to 11, and it felt like there was a lot there. And then when it went from his life from 11 to I don't know how old, 40, 50, it went through like a lot faster. And to me, that made sense because like as you grow older, like the time goes by a lot faster. Core moments in your life like happen a lot less frequently.
Yeah.
Like the ones that you remember anyway. And so it made sense to me. And I was like, this makes sense. This is what I was expecting from this game. But then the ferryman says, you're hiding something. And you start the game over again and you go through, that cat. We never talked about the cat. Great cat. But anyway, the story starts again from the beginning, and he's telling you to skip through a lot of the scenes. That some of them I wanted to see them again because I did accidentally skip through them. So I was like, I want to see.
There were subtle references to those moments which quickly get.
No, I think Akshan tried to do that. I remember talking You mean like
Yes.
there are that you're talking about like the moments where like if you wait long enough you'd see what was supposed to happen. Yeah. Like the phone call and all.
Yes, the phone call. Phone call is the first one.
But you kind of see them in the first run through of your life, right?
Yeah, but
There
like
was a like again, it was not the moment. It was just a reference to there is something more beyond
Yeah.
what
no,
you're saying.
yeah.
So,
But Akshan tried
But-
to stay through it.
Yeah. Yeah. It
oh,
was,
I don't think you are meant to see it then, right?
No, you're not. So what happened was specifically it was the cat one, which was very sad. When it revealed it. But the cat had the kittens. And then the next scene, you could only hear this like just growling and this, and it was very in my head. It was very apparent what was happening, but I saw it was walking towards it, and he was going towards it. But then when I got to the door, it just stopped, and so I realized, oh, I can't, I won't get to see this. So I just closed my eyes and it moved on. It's only the second playthrough it confirms my suspicion.
Yeah, it's quite a shocking scene for a
Yeah.
game like this.
Yeah. The thing that the thing that didn't make me like suspicious or anything was that in my head, again, I thought this was the storytelling being like, okay, this guy just doesn't want to remember what happened to the cat, because later scenes you never see the cat and they don't explain it.
You might be right. You might be right though.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happens. But
no, that is what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's only when the ferryman says, "Okay, you have to accept even the bad memories. Come on, listen, tell me what happened," and then only you see it. I thought they were never going to show it, but then they actually showed it, and it added and it changed the perspective of the whole story. Especially when it reveals that you weren't sick for just a year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a real turn.
That was a real like wrench in the fireworks. That was the reveal that the whole second half of the first the first telling of the story was his typewriter, him typing it out and typing out a fantasy story of him living a great life.
Yeah,
was quite a reveal, and also it made me realize why the mother, like later on and thinking about it, made me realize why the mother was upset reading the story, because she dies in his writing of like his great life.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that.
That's why she's upset, and then
I
the father comes in, and he's the only one like saying, "Hey, great story, son. Your mom's just a bit,
I didn't
emotional."
think about that actually.
Yeah, because like in retrospect, I was like, "Oh yeah."
I thought it was mainly her being sad that he get to live this life, but actually I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, I think it's probably both. It's like a mix.
Yeah. It's definitely both, but I didn't. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it also made it also made me think like why did he write, like when he was deciding his own life, why did he decide, let me kill off my mother in the story? And it made me think that what do you call it? It made me wonder, like, does he think that his mother's work will he's thinking, oh, my mom's musical talent will only be appreciated in post life. I still don't really know why he chose to do that.
I feel like it's because if he's picturing his ideal life, right? This is a bit of a spoiler-ish thing. This is the two parts thing that happened. So
yeah, I was gonna ask. So I think I'm guessing I'm just a question.
No, we can talk about all the spoilers.
Yeah. No, so I was gonna.
No. So Akshan, the route you got was the painter route, right? Or did you get the musician route? Okay, so
I
you
did
got
not
the
pick
painter
that.
route. So there's a painter route and a
No,
musician route, right?
there's no two routes.
There's no musician route?
No.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
you can
Okay, I thought it's a okay.
you can skip the. I'm assuming everyone did this, right? Everyone chose to go and
Go to the beach, not the beach, the whatever. Sneak out at night.
Yeah, sneak out at
sneak
night and watch the stars with Chloe. But if you choose to ignore that, you do your audition. The guy says good, and then the next couple scenes is that you get your acceptance letter, and they basically say,
Reject
yeah, they reject you.
Oh, so it still plays out the same way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they reject you.
Oh,
And
I thought it was a.
nope. It plays out the
You still
same
get-
way. So like in the end,
My God. Okay, sorry. So since we're talking about spoilers, because I just saw this on. I saw this on. I saw this on the Steam page. You know, in the painter route, there's that moment where you're having a drink with your
mom, yeah,
yeah, you're having a drink with your mom. Isn't that the alternate line?
no. You anyway end up painting.
Isn't the painting route where you have that drink with your instructor, your teacher?
No.
No,
Oh, wait. I use. Okay, wait. I'm trying to think.
no, because what ends up happening is that like this is before.
I don't know. I asked because I don't remember having that drink with the mother, with
No,
the mother. That's why
it's with the mom.
it's
Because
always with the mom.
yeah, because anyway the rejection letter and everything happens before the doctor's appointment, right? So even after he fails the entrance exam, then only the doctor's appointment happens. Then they're like, okay, you need
Yeah.
to stay home for a year, and so then he decides, okay, I'm gonna be a painter, right? It's so regardless, he
Okay.
ends up painting because the mom's like, you need to find something more productive to do
Then playing games.
Okay.
than playing games. Yeah, so like
Them playing games.
what I feel like what happens in the story that he's writing out is that he could have envisioned himself even if he took the musician route, he could have envisioned himself as a musician, but ever since he was small, right, he had a tendency towards art. Like if you notice, like in the art gallery and everything, the first drawing is his handprint as a toddler. The second artwork was the boat thing, right? He's always wanted to do art, but like
This is
the
what he will never
mother,
achieve.
yeah, it was the mother's expectation that kind of pushed him towards a music career. It's like I feel like it was only natural that that sort of resentment kind of came out through the writing as well. And that's why the mother character was killed off in his head.
I don't know if I remembered this wrong, but I'm fairly certain in my playthrough he had this wine with his instructor, not with his mother.
No. He had it with his. I had it with his mother. Like I had with his instructor. Sorry.
With his
Did you say-
instructor, right?
Where it's like he has his exhibition and then he has a drink
Yeah, and
with
then
his
they go and have
instructor.
that drink of wine. Yeah.
Yeah, I had it with an instructor.
Yeah, I didn't have it with his mother, so that's why I'm wondering how does that.
Well,
Sorry, Kam.
well, the thing is, I had the drink with the mom when I chose the art the when the reject.
When you chose the rejection letter.
No,
one,
the other way, the way everyone else did it the first time.
the art, the painter way.
Yeah, I don't know why we're calling it the paint away because both end
No,
up
because
the
I don't want to
same.
say the art. I don't want to say the artist way. Oh yeah, they both end up the same. I don't know.
I think
But-
there is some decision that we make in the midst that
There
make-
has to be. I think there is a decision actually because I'm fairly certain. This scene. I don't know why they're sharing the scene because it is clearly a spoiler, technically. But well, now that I'm looking at the pictures, they're all spoilers. If you listening to the story, but I'm fairly certain this scene was with his instructor, not with his mother.
No, it is
Maybe
with
there are
his
two
instructor, that's what
versions. I
remember.
don't know.
So you're saying in both versions that you did, you had the drink with his mother.
at least I did also.
Sashan, you as well?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Might be something else. It might be like some other decision.
I feel like there's a decision that gets made where you end up just drinking wine with your instructor as opposed to your mother. But anyway, that's an like again, it clearly shows that there are definitely choices matter
But it's
Elements.
Okay, question
very
then.
gimmick.
Did
to
y'all
an extent. Yeah.
did y'all You know that there are like moments where you can like crumple papers and throw stuff away.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's like to show anger and like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
did y'all go through with those?
Not
Right.
the music. I can't remember whether I did it or I might have done it for the first one, but
I
maybe
didn't-
not after that.
I
Yeah.
didn't throw papers at that publisher lady.
I threw papers at the agent at the
Yeah,
art.
the agent.
Yeah,
yes.
at the agent. Yeah.
I didn't throw her
I'm
contract.
trying
back
to
at
look
her.
through this.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you sign a Oh, you know what? I'm thinking.
Did you
y'all
sign the contract?
I signed the contract.
Okay, that's it.
That's the change. Okay,
'cause-
right. Okay, that
Because
makes
the art instructor doesn't like you signing the contract. So the next scene is
Okay, that's where the decision changes. So if you don't sign with and decide to go solo, then you have the wine with your
Instructor.
Okay, right, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Interesting.
very interesting because technically you're following your passion by not signing the deal with the art agent, but then you don't drink with your mother, you drink with your instructor. But when you do kind of sell your soul, you end up drinking with your mother.
Yeah, because your mom's
Well,
the one who wants
think about it.
the fame.
Because
Your mom has already done that. Has already sold her soul for like getting a regular job instead of going for a passion.
Yeah.
But I guess it doesn't. But then that means it doesn't really change the outcome, right? Like in terms of you still do the exhibitions and not. And
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I would have hoped that there would be a little change there, but
It's interesting.
it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
There's some unanswered questions in my head regarding the mother and the way he wrote that story.
I just think he has some sort of resentment towards her because of how she immediately took his in. I feel like it. Here's my thinking, because you're like, I'm just like thinking in the mind of a child. It's like he showed some sort of like, what's the word? He showed interest in the mother's piano playing because simply it's his mother, right?
Yeah.
But she took it as a way to make him like a professional in this field, whereas he took it probably as a way of bonding with her. As a kid, you could probably perceive that as in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the story, he still cares like quite deeply, like in the story, quite deeply for his mother, because he writes it as if her music was an undiscovered brilliance that the world had never seen.
Yeah.
And he props it up.
Although he does say that the only reason she became successful was because he was successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do hint towards that.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess it is just his perspective of his mother. Is he does love her, but he doesn't like the fact that she tried to push him into a path that maybe he didn't really want.
Yeah. When you're 11, you have stupid thoughts, so that makes sense.
The start of the rebellious phase.
The start of the rebellious phase.
Pretty sure you're gonna be 13 or 14 for that, but yeah, sure.
Well, considering what he went through, I can't blame him for jump starting that a bit earlier.
I mean, yeah, technically, she pushes you down a path you don't want. She tells you to ignore your friends or love interest, whichever way you decide to take that. Like, it's.
Oh no, I meant the sick. I meant he got sick, so that's why he started.
Oh.
Okay, that's not funny.
That's not.
It is funny. Oh god. Okay.
Oh god. Okay. So yeah, we talked about that. Let's talk about how they do the little rug pull and explain that he's not a successful art connoisseur, and that means you collect art. That's the wrong thing.
Artist.
Artist extraordinaire, and he's actually a little boy who is suffering with a terminal illness that you don't quite know, but you know it causes him a great deal of pain enough that it conjures itself in the memory as this monstrous red, irritating looking sort of like virus that's right in front of you.
Mm.
I think a lot of people can have different opinions on what the illness was. I mean, for me, there was one very clear one. I'm not going to say to ruin immersion, but it's
Some
probably
sort of,
that.
I mean, you can say it. You can say what you think it is. It doesn't make it.
I mean,
canon.
I'm pretty sure the reference was that he had some sort of cancer, right? Because he goes into a.
They just
I-
it looks like it's cancer, but they don't mention what it is actually.
No,
I-
the reason why is because he goes into a what's that big machine called? The one where they put your entire
CAT
body.
scan.
The MRI.
Yeah,
MRI,
he gets an MRI. So usually they do that for cancer patients. So
And I have another addition to that, which is I think that it's specifically some form of throat cancer, because at some point in the story, his mother tells him like, "Here, you can type on this,"
because he
like,
can't talk. Yeah.
implying he can't talk. Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
And that's why she gives him the typewriter, and he starts talking to her through the typewriter instead of like verbosing it.
Yeah, so I think they were hinting to the fact that he had cancer.
Yeah, and an incurable one, it seemed.
Yeah.
As the story leads you to an ending where he passes on to the next life, and that's where the game begins.
I will say this before we proceed. That entire sequence, right? When it starts off, like obviously that red color monstrous thing is a lot smaller, and
Mhm.
the medication in the start was working, right? You
Yes.
eat, you drink, take the medication. There was something on the corner to press. I think that was also medication. It would
Mhm.
suppress it, and then like you'd hear
Mhm.
conversations and stuff like that. And then it slowly kept getting worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. They got to the point where they kept on bleeding out your options. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which was, I feel like, another very immersive and like a strong storytelling aspect, because like
Yeah, because the way in which you were tackling the challenge of getting rid of that red thing was just like when you hovered over it, just melted the prompt,
yeah,
and you
Yeah.
suddenly couldn't. And it made you feel like you were completely helpless, and it was
Yeah.
very effective at that.
it's almost that sensation where like you do it initially because you feel like it's helping you out, and initially it does. But then after some point you're like, because he stops eating food, right? And he stops eating the food, he stops drinking anything, because at that point you're just like, it's not doing anything, it's not helping me, I'm not getting better.
Hmm.
Like it's that it's a sad thing to say, but it is that state of mind where you're just like, I'd rather go quickly.
You don't want to do anything.
You don't want to,
especially
you've
with
given up.
the mental state that he's in at that point, because they hint at the fact that he's like, the pain is not just physical, it's mental.
Yeah,
By when he's in that pain and you see the redness in front of you, and then his neighbor walks in and the pain sort of just dissipates as she's talking to him. And also the opposite, where he sees like missed calls from her that he's not responded to, and the pain grows. And they keep it vague. They keep it vague intentionally to just mean that it represents pain, physical,
Yeah.
mental, and it's very
It's
effective.
very powerful image.
Very powerful image. You know what was lovely? That cat coming back.
yes.
Yeah.
There was after
was
all
nice.
of that just sadness and very like almost hopelessness, that the cat just coming back, even though who knows what it's been through, as the mother says, who knows what it's been through.
That cat's a survivor.
That cat's a survivor. And yeah, beautiful. As it leads up to the very ending, when the ferryman, acting sort of as like an outside perspective, but really kind of the kind of a narrator, like an unconventional narrator. He's not directly narrating what's happening. He's sort of
What's the
explaining
word he used? Orate?
orator.
Orator.
He's the orator. Um, when he finally knows what the right words are to say to the gatekeeper,
Hmm.
and he simply tells it as it is. And I love how
That last sequence.
The whole of the last
Oh,
sequence.
that was beautiful.
The figure looking like the cat, because that's his like most innocent of memories of like just love and adoration.
Yeah.
And it cutting from that
And the
like
mother.
with a match cut, with him and the mother telling him the story that she thinks is better, and it's just the story of his life that he lived now. It is very, very smart, very emotional, very powerful, and very well done. And I was not sure if I was allowed to blink, so my eyes were just open throughout the whole thing. My eyes started watering, not sure it was from emotions or because I needed water.
Well, I will say this, I teared up for that moment.
I also, since Sashan was the first one to admit it, I will that I did tear up towards the end, and not because of keeping my eyes open, because I was using my mouse. It was definitely. I mean, if a game can make you feel like that, they've done something good. So
I hit you in the right spots.
it hit.
Anok,
it
did
hit,
you cry?
No.
No. You're so
I was
responsible.
heartless.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I feel like I'm not as much a cry. It doesn't mean that I don't feel as strongly the emotion. It just means it takes.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna make everyone cry, obviously. But it has the power. It has the power to make you feel something.
I would say if
if
you felt something, that's good enough.
Yeah, I felt very strongly.
If you felt nothing, seek help.
Nothing.
Seek help.
Seek help.
Seek help.
So you're saying if you should seek help, understood.
Well, we felt something. I don't know about you.
Right. I'll seek help.
Nice way to turn it.
Oh God. Yeah. So. Yeah. Beautiful way to wrap it all up, and I love how the game ends with you closing your eyes, and you close your eyes and the game starts, and like all you hear is the last words of your mother and father that you get to hear, which is like, why is he like, why do you think he's smiling? And
Yeah.
it was so powerful. Just me closing my eyes and hearing only that after like the music cuts away and all that, and then the credits start rolling. It was brilliant. It made the whole
very good stuff.
Made the whole eye blinking thing just a powerful thing. Powerful storytelling, powerful game, very well made, and I can understand it being like one of the best games that we've had on the playlist.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there. It's if not number one, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, definitely.
Right below Heavy Rain.
Right below Heavy Rain.
The number one game of the game.
Speaking of waterworks,
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
Crying in pain. All right, so yeah, that's our review. Any last little bit of thoughts that we.
I just want to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The ferryman talked too much at the beginning.
I feel like
I don't you held that in for so long, didn't say anything. Just drop that at the end.
I agree. I feel like that's just his character, because he's just like overly wordy. Like I feel like
I was like, can I blink, please? Can I blink, please?
Let me blink, man. Let me blink.
I guess the only thing we didn't talk about is him, because like the whole lying birds thing, right? Because like that added backstory to him, right? Where he's had a history of wrongfully narrating the lives of these other souls, and so they end up turning into these birds. Like I feel like with each passing soul he's done that too. He's tried to be more wordy.
Yeah, I mean, he has a thesaurus. Like, a part of the joke is that he has a thesaurus trying to go for different words.
Yeah. So maybe that was intentional. Maybe
I think him being a little bit annoying was definitely intentional in the beginning because it really makes you feel like you're suffering in limbo. I think it effectively makes
Honestly,
you
not
feel
a
like you're.
not a bad theory.
Because I don't think the ferryman, like, when you might maybe when you're playing it you find it a little bit funny. I don't really remember what my opinion of him was initially, but his like persistence and his like run on, like, just talking nonsense, not nonsense, just talking constantly until he finally explains, "Hey, I need to go back to your memory," because it made you sit in limbo for so long that when you get into the memory, it feels very jarring and feels very like you're at the start of life.
I
I
guess.
feel very bright. Yeah. 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 Thank you, Anuk, for hating the ferryman. Speaking of hating the ferryman, I saw there was an achievement called "Enrage the Ire of the Ferryman" or something. I would like
Yeah.
Seshan to explain that as we go into achievements.
Amazing. Yeah, I'll explain that one just for you. Basically, when he asks you to blink so that you can revisit your memories, don't blink. And he just gets increasingly pissed off. He's just like, blink already. Fine, I'm done with you. I think that's like one of the last things he says. Yeah. Achievements. This is I forgot, is 1 good? No, 10 is easy, right? Oh no, 10 is difficult. I forgot how this rating works.
10 is difficult. 10 is
10 is difficult.
Yeah.
All right. It is a 2, 3.
I'm surprised it's a 2, 3. I'm looking at the achievements and I feel like if I
It's not that hard.
I could do it.
I mean, not question your judgment, of course.
Okay.
I don't want to do that, but
Okay. There are games with achievements where it's literally just one achievement and you get it for finishing the game. I'm currently in the middle of playing a game like that, which is why it's not a 1, because it's not an instant thing where you play the game once and you just get the achievement. This game actually requires you to go back and follow certain other routes and make certain other decisions.
Okay. That now that you explain that makes sense. Yeah.
In the grand scheme of achievements, this requires a little bit of time. It's not a lot because the game is short as it is. So yeah, it is.
And thankfully, chapter select.
Yeah, chapter select is there and stuff like that. And it's not that difficult. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not difficult, which is why it's a 2 or 3. Most of it's story related. One of them is setting related. I don't know why they added that in. That was a bit annoying.
Because they knew that it was something that people are going to be going through for a bit.
I don't think so. I mean, like, oh, thank you.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they did, Seshan. Otherwise, they wouldn't have added achievement. Just saying.
I don't think so.
It's kind of something for the context. Hide, but there's an achievement you can unlock where you have to calibrate 10 times.
Yeah.
I think they added that in more because I'm sure there are people who had to calibrate at least 10 times.
I do not.
So it's more something to.
I do.
I mean, again, I would say if they didn't have it, why would it be there, right? So if they didn't notice it, before,
maybe when the game started out, but right now I did not have to I didn't recalibrate it at all while playing. So
yeah, fair. I'm just saying that's probably because there's no, like you say, there's no real significance behind it, right? Outside of doing it. So
yeah,
then why would you have it? So I just think that's it.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
it's just there.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, achievements pretty easy. I would.
It seems that I picked Greece. Anuk, you picked Egypt first.
At Egypt first, yeah.
I picked
and then
Greece.
Seshan, you picked Greece first.
I picked Greece first.
I didn't pick anything because mine blinked away before I could make that decision.
Amazing.
think it was right after that one, which is why. See, this is the thing. That I mean, again, I didn't look at the achievements before, so I didn't really know what I was looking for until I looked at it after, and I was like, okay, actually, you could get them if you knew what they were. But yeah, it's I blinked away from that one before I could make my choice. I believe my choice was. I mean, for
Well, what
argument's
you
sake, I
gonna
believe
do?
my choice was Greece. I think my choice was Greece.
Okay. That was just funny. I forgot you could blink away from that. Yeah. All right. So that's achievements. That's our thoughts on the games. Let's go into the final thoughts, ratings. We have try it or skip it. I wonder if we're all giving it session.
Do we all do this together?
We're all just gonna
We all-
say it on. No, we'll go. We'll
Yeah,
go.
no, let's not. I'm kidding.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I picked the game. Like I said at the start, I picked this game purely because of its gimmick. I was expecting to be like, wow, cool. I mean, weird to say. You've seen those like weird eye tracking videos, right, on you that YouTubers have done. Where it's like try not to look at this, and they're like, oh, I was thinking it's something like that. It's something very gimmicky. I did not expect it to go this hard. I did not, for the life of me. I watched the trailer. The trailer doesn't even give anything away. It doesn't give anything away about like the seriousness of the story, how well
Yeah,
it's done.
It does.
Like the only information that I had going into this was it uses your webcam as an optional device and as the main gimmick, and it's an hour and a half to 2 hours long. Didn't expect it. It was, as we've discussed, the presentation was phenomenal, the storytelling, the story itself. It has, and like you said, Dilanta, it's up there as one of the best games we've played so far, and I don't know how such a small team does it. I don't know how indie games continue to impress like they have. But yeah, it's a try it, a wholehearted try it. If you don't have a webcam, this is the reason to buy one.
Just borrow one. Anuk.
I mean, pretty much Sishan summed it up. I mean, I don't have anything else to add on, if you ask me honestly. But I mean, as I said earlier, it was a slow burn for me. But regardless, it had a good ending, very emotional ending, a very sad ending. Tears were there for some people, for two of us at least.
Akshan's was unintentional, but yes.
Akshan's unintentional for 2.5 then.
Yeah, 2.5. That's fair.
But I feel like it was one of the I think it's one of the only games from our podcast which invoked some sort of an emotion compared to like Journey and stuff.
Mm.
That was on par or at least better than most other games that I have played. So yeah, just going off that, I think I'll say I tried.
Nice. All right, Dilanta.
I'm gonna offer a different perspective. Okay, so now y'all. I mean, it's a little running joke in the podcast that I am the hater.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little running joke here. Sometimes it's true, sometimes not so much. I will say this, and I know that made it sound like I'm gonna go a certain way. No, the reason why I said I want to offer a different perspective is, as much as I think the gimmick is great and adds a lot of immersion, I will say this: I don't think you should let yourself be too bogged down in it. Like, for example, if you feel like it is really affecting your ability to play the game in your way, play it however you want. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the important thing, right? That's why they're given all these options, whether it's webcam, VR, mouse. It is definitely worth trying because it was such a good experience no matter how you play it, I feel. And it's definitely one you don't want to miss. So don't get too bogged down in the logistics of it. Just give it a try and you will be rewarded no matter how you play it.
So it's a try it.
Oh yeah, it does. Did I not say that? I said it's something you have to try. Sorry. But 100% try it. Easily one of the best games we've had on the podcast so far.
Thank you, Dylan, for standing up for clickers' rights.
Mhm.
So, well, Rookie clicker. 57 hours. Yeah, when Sachan picked this game, I was mostly annoyed I have to get a webcam. But I had no opinions in regards to what this game will be. I thought it will be simple, easy, and it would just have a fun gimmick that might not work. The gimmick was more than a gimmick. It worked very well. It was very strong. I understand the intentionality of it and why they wanted to go with it. It worked very well. And the storytelling, even if they didn't have the gimmick, the storytelling was very strong and it made for a very poignantly told story that is an example of gaming as a artistic medium, pushing it forward. And yes, I said to it with Seshan, it's amazing how indie games are able to be this strong with the budgets that they have. And I mean, the easy answer is probably that because they don't have the biggest budgets, they concentrate all of their energy into making something that's short but impactful. And it's very nice being able to play a game that leaves a lasting memory over the course of 2 hours, as opposed to I don't remember why I spent 200 hours in Binding of Isaac. But this game gets a definite try it from me. It's one of the best games we played on the podcast. Hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work we go. Thank you very much for watching. With your eyes, I hope. Maybe you're listening with your ears on Spotify. You can follow. You can subscribe. You can like, follow, subscribe. Do all of the things you can do on whatever social medias that you're using. Social medias that you're using. Yeah. So we have
you listen on the favorite podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple.
Play it on a speaker.
Play it on a speaker. Let all your friends hear.
Yeah.
Go to a mall, hijack the intercom system.
Play it on
and
your
play it over
Samsung
there.
refrigerator.
Play it on your Samsung refrigerator.
Now, obviously, we're joking for legal reasons. But yes,
Yes.
we won't hate you if you did that.
But we don't encourage.
If you like this, you can see our previous episodes. We have one on Guardians of the Galaxy, the 2020. Well, this game came out the same year as Guardians of the Galaxy. I just realized. The 2021 game that we all enjoyed. Squirrel with a Gun, which also has four tries from us, so that it's equally as good.
I really would not say that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I gave it a try too, but that not even the same conversation. I'm sorry.
Something that isn't the same conversation is probably Journey, which we did an episode on last year. It was Seshan's pick last year. Beginner's Guide. It's also short. That's the main reason I picked it. And of course, we all of us, we love it. It's Bear and Breakfast. It's one of the best episodes we ever. Check out that episode on Bear and Breakfast. Lovely stuff. Yeah, and then we have our next episode. We'll be on Ultra Kill, which is Anuk's pick. Very different from this game. Very different from all the games that we've been. And after that, we have our game selection video for the next 4 months for September to December.
Yes.
Maybe we said August. September to December. You can see our video on that, see what games we picked, how much we love what we pick, hate it, who knows? Yes. So like, share, follow. Good night, tri-state area.
Good night.
Bye.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
Give me your hand.
I wanna